The Man Who Saved the World, a Turkish movie that's more commonly known online as Turkish Star Wars. You gotta realize, before the internet, it was not really easy to get your hands on foreign films, especially in Turkey and especially after the 1980 military coup. So the good people of Turkey decided to make their own damn movies based on the foreign ones. There's about a half a dozen of these, and half of them don't even resemble the original product. I mean, America famously did this with Shameless, The Office, The Ring, and Wreck, so, who can judge? The film stars and was concepted by Kune Arkin, who's known for Turkish dramas and mockbusters. So, it makes him Turkish Joe Estevez. Okay, I had to look it up because this is not what you think it means. The film begins and the space age continued, making this Turkish for all mankind. That's stock footage of a real Soviet space rocket, but we can say it's a space race between the Turkish and Greek. The space age brought peace, prosperity, unification, and real stock footage from real Star Wars A New Hope. A good chunk of the start of the film is just stock footage from Star Wars. It's hilarious. Apparently the director wanted to build unique spaceship props. They were built north of Istanbul in Kilios, but the weather had other plans and destroyed them. So the director literally bribed a security guard to give him a reel of Star Wars, and he copied it and returned it the next day. And eventually Earth's unification ended badly with nuclear war. So the destruction of Alderaan is Earth in this, and apparently when it blew up, it literally scattered parts of Earth into new planets. So the movie just began, but we're already skipping to the Battle of Yavin, the climax of Star Wars. So I guess this is our Darth Vader for their film, who's simply called just Wizard in his pineapple helmet, and he seems to be watching Star Wars through a keyhole. He's got some people on his side, like his wife, this guy with a perm and a mustache, Robbie the Robot, and their army of Cylons from Battlestar Galactica. And we see the grayish Turkish soldiers, who are our heroes for the films, who look like they're standing in front of big TVs playing Star Wars. They're clearly full screen while the TVs behind them are playing a full screen Star Wars stretched to fit. Either way, call sign Typhon 1 and 2 are our heroes, Ali and Kune's playing Marat. I don't even think the film knows what ships they're supposed to be in, because sometimes it looks like they're in the Tantive 4, sometimes the Millennium Falcon, sometimes the X-Wing, sometimes even the TIE Fighters. After 8 minutes of Star Wars footage, they're shot down and land on a desert. The two wander Turkish Monument Valley talking about girls until they stumble upon Egypt. What? Then they just leave. And you start realizing this is not actually an adaptation of A New Hope. They, especially by this point, start doing its own thing. Well, great, now we have to fight Turkish Dracula. But luckily we found a literally defaced Byzantine church we can use as our post-apocalyptic base. Or not, because the two hear a ear-piercing cat call, which I guess comes from these skeleton warriors. So they fight, and it's just about as silly as you could imagine. It's so chaotic, it's kind of hard to track what's going on. Everyone's clearly not actually hitting each other. The music tends to cut out at every sound effect. And yes, that is the Indiana Jones theme. You got the wrong George Lucas Harrison Ford film. Oh, and it plays a lot. It's the movie's theme song, as well as other stolen music from probably the director's favorite movies. So after getting jump scared by the devil, the two ride off right into the Cylons, who hit the two with a gun that gives them a seizure. So now they're captured, and I guess the villain has Cylons, skeleton warriors, and these guys in silver helmets who I'm pretty sure are meant to be cyborgs. They're taken to the gulag, but the Indiana Jones theme causes them to start a riot. But Wizard takes his faceplate off and uses his red filter at them, realizing they're humans, but luckily they get saved by this lady and Turkish Obi-Wan Kenobi. And these mummies, but the mummies turn out to be evil, and they look like they're wrapped in toilet paper with claws from the mole people. Also, these fluffy guys attack, so now the Rebel Alliance has to escape.
Başaramadınız.
He turns his staff into shurikens, which become buckets that rip the mummies' heads off. I mean, it's a unique weapon, I guess. So the mummies are replaced by this Chewbacca cyborg with whip hands and no face. He's pretty tough, capturing the rebels and turning them into new mummies I guess they're not replacing. So now we got our training montage of the two punching rocks and playing with rocks until every bone in their body is powder. Rumor has it that he was kicking a live grenade that was taped to a rock, which, honestly, with this kind of movie, probably. It's finally time we have the cantina scene, and you totally can't tell the Star Wars footage from the Halloween mask the Turkish has, along with some racist mask. It's weird that they have a devil mask, but they don't show the actual Deveronian that was in the scene. So after the break, we have a bar fight. And after 43 minutes, Wizard finally meets the duo. Hina with red filter, so they're captured, again, and put in silly costumes. Wizard wants to talk to Marat, while Wizard's wife tries seducing Ali for info. Wizard apparently wants another human brain so he'd become all-powerful. But Marat kicks his way out of there, and Karate chops the red fluffy guy's arm off and stabs him with it. But the seizure gun gets them, again, so they're captured, again. And Wizard turns his wife into footage from Bird-Eye Gordon's The Magic Sword.
For 5, 6, 10 hours. 12 until I need you again.
Help me! Help me!
She's finally the size 2 she always wanted to be.
Marat gets sent to gladiator fight the bear guy, hitting him with a stick and escaping while Ali's taken away. An hour in, and Turkish Obi-Wan Kenobi decides he exists again, and he reveals his name as Wise Man, and he tells us a lesson about Islam for what feels like a day. And apparently the 13th tribe of Earth, which is not Battlestar Galactica, turned a bronze mountain into a special sword, as well as a bronze brain, which Wizard wants because he's one of the 13th tribe and he wants all power. In another Byzantine church, I think the rapture happened because Jesus returned to lead an army or something. Why did a different movie happen off screen? Eventually Marat has to fight some bronze foil people and get the cardboard sword, as well as the bronze brain, which the spray paint they use is clearly not sticking to the rubber brain prop. Something about Christianity being false because it's connected to the Mayan and Aztecs, somehow, I don't know. They find Ali, but it turns out to be an imposter. He fights like a million people to get the real Ali, but Wizard shoves him around, gets the brain, and kills Obi-Wan and Ali. So Marat decides to melt down the cardboard sword into some golden fist. He fights another like a million people, and hey, Star Wars, it's been an hour since we've seen ya. He fights Wizard by literally just slapping him and scratching at his face like a cat, till he gets tired and Marat cuts him in half. They try showing the two halves of Wizard's face, but they did it so bad. Like the cameraman just put his hand over the lens to cover it up. Like if you put the two side by side, it looks like Wizard now has two noses. They blow up the Death Star and everything's okay, flying off in the Millennium Falcon. That's a little human-centric, don't you think? This movie is certainly unique. It does set itself apart from Star Wars, and its original plot is completely batshit insane. The plot's completely disjointed, with just everything happening. The fighting goes on for forever, and the choreography is bad. Apparently the movie was meant to be 2 hours, which is insane to think because it's so clearly they're struggling to get to an hour 37. It was impressive they were able to make a movie with basically zero money. And honestly, I was expecting this movie would have literally just been Ali and Marat green screen to be Han and Luke. The movie's just so bizarre, it has a kind of charm to it, in a bootleg toy sense. It's still not a good movie, and I wouldn't really recommend it to the general audience. 3 out of 10. Let me know what you thought down below, as well as hitting the like button and subscribing if you're new. Hype on mobile is very appreciated.